All right, broski, we're going to do a video on Greg Doucette, a review of Don't Blame or Blame Sam. Is Sam Sulek bad for the fitness industry? He doesn't do anything. I don't know what this guy's talking about. He just makes videos and talks about himself. It just shows himself lifting. He doesn't talk about other people. He doesn't do anything. He just shows what he's eating. And he has some conversations with himself, showing himself, posing, and working out. That's it. Anyways, let's review this video.
And so let me know in the comment section, what do you think of this kid? Is he in fact being influenced by Sam Sulek?
Okay, so here's a skinny kid weighing, I don't know what he says, I think 170 or something. So he's an ectomorph. He's an ectomorph. And he got a little bit puffy. Maybe he took some creatine. Maybe it's sarcoplasmic. I don't know. He thinks it's drugs. Everything is drugs. That tiny little look is drugs. Give me a break.
What is the cause of all these teenagers thinking they need to take performance-enhancing drugs at such an early age?
Why does he think that everybody who's skinny is taking drugs?
Coach Greg, in today's video, it keeps getting worse. Guys using steroids younger than ever before. And you can hate me if you want, but I do believe that the influence of Sam Sulek and others such as...
Okay, so Sam Sulek and these other bodybuilders, they're creating fake muscles. It's a cosmetic look. It's cosmetic.
Chris Bumstead are making steroid abuse more prevalent than ever before. And so we got a guy on my Reddit, and he posts a couple pictures. Of course he does. And what do you think he asks? What is my body fat percentage? Everyone wants...
Yeah, ask yourself this question. How many people do you think out there is actually eating protein? It tells you in science, protein synthesis needs to exceed muscle protein breakdown in order for muscles to grow. How many people do you think are actually eating that much protein to shut off the breaking down of proteins, when in fact you're breaking down protein all day? You're breaking and building at the same time. But if you want to build, you have to completely shut it off. Remember, meat, animal meat, is extremely nutrient dense. It makes you full. It makes you, that's why people on carnivore diets, it makes them full really fast. Fuck, you can live on a steak a day, a steak and 2-3 eggs a day. You wouldn't want to eat anymore. But the problem is you're deficient in nutrients because you're eating a herbivore diet, which is anti-nutrient, making you insulin resistant. And so you're constantly starving, so you're eating more and more carbs and sugar and things all day. These carbs and sugars are drawn into the muscle because when you go to the gym and you lift a weight, that's also not just a window for protein synthesis, breakdown, and whatever, but it's also a window for glycogen synthesis. Yeah. And your problem is you're eating more glycogen than you're eating protein. And it'll defeat the protein because these man-made fruits and vegetables and processed foods that you're eating are anti-nutrient. Yes, and they make you insulin resistant as well on top of it. So that makes it even worse. Oxalates are anti-nutrient. So, yeah, it kind of never really works out for people. So they're always trying to keep these fake gains. It's cosmetic. To build real muscle, you have to eat real protein. You have to do it real in nature. And here's another thing. Even if they are getting, let's say they are getting some nuclei, maybe some adaptations, there's some nuclei being deposited so you can further MND size limit. I don't know. Most people, again, are not eating enough protein to be in an anabolic growth state. See what I mean? So what happens is you take steroids, it just is uploading the glucose. You're creating fake sarcoplasmic muscles because the truth is it really is almost impossible to get over MND size limit.
To know, are they single-digit body fat? Are they lean enough? Do they look good? People are looking for external validation from others. And so this kid, guess how old he is? 7.
So he's 17. He just looks a little puffy. It doesn't look extraordinary. It doesn't look extraordinary. Extraordinary. You can see shape is what you can see.
17 years of age. 17 kids in high school. He's only been training for 2 years, yet...
Man, I've seen people in the gym, they start getting leaner and leaner, and all of a sudden heads start turning. They think they're unnatural because they got leaner. How the fuck can somebody be unnatural if they got skinnier. This is stupid.
Look at this guy's physique. And so he went to the internet to discover his...
Yes, look at his physique. You could see his abs and everything. If he was a mesomorph, would you be able to see his abs and all that, the shape of his body, or an endomorph? No. He's an ectomorph. He's a skinny little ectomorph. His muscles got pumped. They're like inflammatory, fucking lactic acid and some sarcoplasmic fluid in the muscle.
Body fat percentage, of which I'm going to answer, but what he got in return had nothing to do with his body fat percentage, but people calling him out for not being natural. And so we'll get...
What is natural, bro? Look at this, man. Do you think... Here's the problem. Muscle has an MAD size limit, okay? Right there. So when you scroll down, it tells you MAD size has a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, beyond which extra myonuclei are donated by satellite cell to support further muscle growth. So when you first come into the gym, you reach that limit. You reach that limit, and then there's no more, bro. There's no more, man. You understand me? There's no more. You're not bypassing it. It's really hard to bypass it. The majority of 99% people are not bypassing it. So what is it? It goes into a secondary shift called when these people are training, these bodybuilding people, they come to the gym, they're resistance training. Trained young men is largely attributed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. What is this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? I talked about it in all my videos. What is it? During a workout, more fluid moves into the muscles to provide energy. If you're eating a herbivore diet, which all of you are, because you're addicted to it. This doesn't work in a carnivore diet. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy refers to the increase in volume of this fluid. It can make muscles appear larger, but does not increase strength. It doesn't increase strength. Also, basically, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a kind of what? Artificial muscle growth. So even if you are natural, what you call a natural lifter or natural guy, and you get this type of growth, it is artificial muscle growth. So are you a fake natty? I have a question. If a guy's natural and he builds sarcoplasmic muscles, which are artificial muscle growth, you train the muscles for no other reason than to visually increase its size by increasing the amount of fluid it can hold, but you do not increase the density of the muscle fibers. So instead of eating, let's say you're eating enough protein, this breakdown, to exceed that breakdown in protein synthesis, but you eat a shitload of complex carbohydrates, and you build these artificial muscles through eating complex carbohydrates, and you puff out as a skinny little anorexic ectomorph with sarcoplasmic muscles. They're artificial. Are you a fake natty? That is the question I have for all these people. Are you a fake natty? See what I mean?
And so we'll get into the comments, but let me first start by his body fat percentage. And at first photo, look at the quads, the detail, the definition.
What about it? He's so skinny. He buffed out, so it shows all this detail. He got some sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, it buffs out, and he gets detail. Whether he took steroids to create that artificial muscle through sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, or whether he did it naturally eating bowls of potato, because he would have had to eat bowls of potato anyway, even if he was on steroids. You understand me? So either way, it's artificial. You are a fake natty if you're creating fake artificial muscles. I don't care what this guy says.
I mean, are you kidding me? He looks like he could step on stage right now. Clearly far below 10% body fat based on the legs alone. But remember, it's not...
He doesn't... Yeah, is that natural... being below naturally 10% doesn't look like a person on steroids, because they look extremely dry because they're taking anabolics. Again, it's a cosmetic look that these people are looking for. They don't give a shit how they get there, just as long as they get there.
Just about the legs. Some people carry more body fat in their upper body in comparison to their legs. In particular, guys, men. More men...
Have you ever heard of carb cycling? These crazy idiots online, they'll tell you all these crazy things about carb cycling. I'll do 1 week protein, next week I'll do carb cycling, next week protein, next week carb cycling. They do all these stupid things. Meanwhile, It's the carbs that are being uptaken into the muscle, creating more of this artificial sarcoplasmic muscles. It happens in trained people. It doesn't happen in untrained people. Why is that? Because, look, I'll show you this. Maybe people are watching from his channel. I don't know. So remember nuclei overload training? It's in NCBI. People know this already. It's called nuclei acquired by overload exercise precedes hypertrophy and not lost on day training. That overload training only happens once, and I'll explain this. Yeah, happens once here. See this map here? This map right here. That's right. See how it says untrained first training, satellite cell fusion? Boom, you get a bunch of these satellite cell fuse and donate their nuclei. Okay, when you detrain, you atrophy, right? But when you retrain, it comes back. You detrain, retrain. How come you're not getting more of them anymore when you retrain? Why do they call that muscle memory? Because that's all you ever get. A newbie gain. And you are all chasing muscles trying to get over this newbie gain, and you never are. You never will, no matter how much protein you eat. And so it says protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown to build muscle. It does. When this happens, to maintain it, it's got to be at net zero to maintain it. But if it's not at net zero, you atrophy. Eventually, with time, it'll atrophy because you're not maintaining this pool here. And so when you retrain, they call that muscle memory. Detrain, retrain. See what I mean? But when you still keep training in the gym, are you getting more of these nuclei by training in the gym? You being a trained person, are you getting that? Does it say you're getting more of these nuclei? You're getting fusion of the satellite cell. Huh? See that? Huh? Preceding hypertrophy. No, because it oversees a myonuclear domain size limit. It oversees that. You can't get any bigger without nuclei. They synthesize protein. Without them, you can't synthesize protein. So what does it do? It goes into a secondary shift, largely attributed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. And what is sarcoplasmic? It is artificial muscle growth. That is what you're building. Yeah. So you all get a newbie gain, and then you never get it again.
Guys, more men have leaner legs in comparison to their abdominals. Women, on the other hand, they tend to have fatter thighs, hips, and so on, but much leaner stomachs and abdominals. And so at first glance, I would have guessed this guy is probably 7% body fat and clearly defined quads. Incredible. Thinking the guy is 17, not competing, that's incredible. But as I swipe to the right, I see a different story in the upper body. Not nearly single-digit body fat. And so if you combine the look of the legs with the upper body, I'm going to say this guy is approaching 10 to 11% body fat. Very, very lean. No reason to get leaner than this. And already at 17 years of age, this is the majority of people's dream physique. And imagine, he'd only spent 2 years in the gym. Probably doesn't even know how to...
This is their dream physique? He was fucking born like that, skinny. What are you talking about? He was born an ectomorph.
Track calories, macros, or even how to train effectively.
He's born that way. Genetically, he was born that way, skinny. What are you going on about? This is stupid.
Yet, look at his physique. And so does any...
Look at his physique. I'm so jealous. I'm a manlet, and I take drugs. I'm so jealous. How could this be? How could he be like that? How could he do this to me? He gained 5 pounds of muscle, and he looks so good. How could this happen? Oh my God.
Anyone think he did this?
And it's fake muscle at that, because those... Oh, no, wait, I can't say it's all fake. He got newbie gains, a little bit of newbie gains, and maybe some sarcoplasmic. Yeah, I don't know.
Natural. And yeah, it's possible that he did. We don't have...
It's possible 5 pounds or 10 maybe is real. Maybe it's, maybe 5 pounds is real muscle, and a little bit of sarcoplasmic, 5 pounds. So altogether, 5 pounds artificial, and maybe some real newbie gains, like I showed you in that map. Yeah.
Proof. But for the most part, 99.9...
Let's see. If he does this, this one definitely is going to get you massive. That shit gets you just huge. But this one right here, yeah, these are microscopic. And then they blow up a bit. See? Hypertrophy. So there's a newbie gain here. He got a little bit of this newbie gain. And then he came in and then it takes a secondary shift. It goes into sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. So he gains this shit here, sarcoplasmic. It's artificial muscle growth. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's it. That's explainable. See, it's very explainable.
9% of people that look like this at 17, they're not doing this in a natural environment. When you're this lean, most...
And even if he's taking creatine, that is still a type of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's water going in the muscle.
likely your testosterone levels are going to go down. And so how could you
Your testosterone levels are going to go down? They go down because you're lifting weights in the gym. They crash your testosterone, especially chronic lifters.
possibly build all this muscle? And remember, if you have lower levels of testosterone, we do have G10.
Yeah,
I would recommend is he should be eating
Right away,
potentially put on.
Right away, he wants to sell you some fake tablets to create some fake muscles. You got to buy these tablets and create fake muscles. There you go. How can a tablet create a real muscle? Think about that. Obviously, it's artificial.
More muscle. And only he knows this. If he doesn't
More muscle. You need this muscle. You need it so badly, this fake muscle. There's no strength there.
have the energy to go through, be thinking, that's not all that big. But remember this, he's 17.
What do you say?
Right. And so he states he's 5'11", weighing between 168 and 170 pounds. And so you might
160 and 170 at 5'11". That is small. He's tiny. Yeah, he's small, bro. His gains are very small. He's lean, is what he is. And so being lean in a photograph makes you appear bigger because it's an illusion.
be thinking, that's not all that big. But remember this, he's 17. 17 at about 10% body fat. That is a ton of muscle. For the most part, most 17-year-olds who are this lean at 5'11", probably going to weigh 140 pounds. And so he clearly has 30 pounds more muscle than the average teenager.
Okay, so let's just say the newbie gains let's say he was 140 and went up to 170. He gained maybe 30 pounds. So he got some newbie gains, about 10 pounds of newbie gains, right? Like I showed you in that map. He got 10 pounds of newbie gains here, right? He's untrained. Now he's a trained person. He's coming into the gym. And you know what sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is based on? It's glycogen, type of glycogen in water drawing into the muscle. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water is drawn between the skin and muscle into the muscle to create these artificial muscles. So they're built a lot more. You understand me? Because this is done. This has reached a domain limit. See this thing right here? That has reached a myonuclear domain size limit. It reached a MND size has reached a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process beyond which extra myonuclei are donated by satellite cell to support further muscle growth. See that? See, it reached an MND size limit to support further muscle growth. It usually happens at 15, but then it happens one more time when you're an untrained person and you come in. See that? Myonuclei are permanently previously untrained muscles acquired newly formed nuclei by fusion of satellite cell preceding hypertrophy. There you go. You understand me? Then it takes on a secondary shift. It's called sarcoplasmic. And what is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? It is an artificial muscle growth. It is artificial muscle growth. So what is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? A kind of artificial muscle growth. There you go. That's what it is. You're holding water. That's all. Just visually to give this look. So, yeah. Everybody gets the newbie gains, and you can get bigger if you're pump training, sarcoplasmic, just like everybody out there. So what Greg says to me, it's fake.
Major. No way you ain't on gear. He didn't claim natty, but at 17 on that much gear.
Of course, these are the stupid people writing. He didn't claim natty, but 17 is much more gear. He can claim stupid. Yes, everything is geared to all you people. That little tiny body, yeah, it must be on gear. It's so tiny. It had to have been geared, this ectomorph. He buffed out a little bit. He must be geared for sure.
He can claim stupid. He did in other comments. Oh, that he's a cooking liar. And so people are saying that he...
I told you before, if it's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, it's artificial, it's fake muscles. Whether you're on steroids or whether you're doing it naturally. If you're building sarcoplasmic muscles, it's artificial, therefore you're a fake natty. I don't
Actually claims natural in other posts, but do you blame him? Do you really think a teenager at 17 just going to come out and say, I took this, I took that? Even Sam Sulek has...
Even Greg's muscles are sarcoplasmic. He's maintaining these sarcoplasmic fake muscles by taking whatever, steroids, so he can retain that fluid in there because he doesn't want to work hard at it, like keeping it there all the time, like eating potatoes all day and shit.
It's nothing. And so as far as we know, Sam Sulek is
I can tell you it is a lot harder to maintain sarcoplasmic muscles than it is to maintain real myofibrillar growth. Yeah. If you build real muscle, it's easy to maintain. It doesn't just go away. And even if you were hungry or starved for a week, they wouldn't just go away.
100% natural. We don't know. We don't have proof. And remember, we're only
But that energy source in there, the sarcoplasmic fluid, that energy source, that's coming and going all the time. The gains are going, boom, people complaining.
speculating. He may, in fact, be natural.
And as it said, it doesn't make you stronger.
We don't know. It's just the odds very small, kind of like when Michael Hearn's natural. He might.
So what makes you stronger? Some people say, well, I got big. They go into the gym, I got a heavier lift. What makes you stronger? That's easy. People confuse these things. They don't know anything in bodybuilding, man. They're so dumb. The androgen receptor controls that strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. See that? So what controls the mass? Hypertrophy controls the mass, but hypertrophy has different meanings. So what controls the strength? Myocytic androgen receptor controls it, and these motor units. They'll tell you motor units here in the muscle, they proliferate. So these androgen receptors, the more of them you get through adaptations by increasing the weight, the stronger your lift will get. And your body, somewhat, I would say, I guess through chemicals, they get stronger through chemical strength. It releases chemicals and it makes you strong. But it doesn't make you physically bigger, and it doesn't make you physically stronger. It makes you physically better and stronger at lifting something heavy. That's about it. Yeah.
Very small, kind of like when Michael Hearn's natural. He might be, but what are the odds of that? He's short, bro.
Man, Michael Hearn is the fakest guy on the internet. He's a fucking influencer, bro. He's in the business of making money.
Man is natty, and so apparently you're a short king if you're 5'11". He's short, bro. What does that have to do with it? You really think that anyone under 17 and you look like this, as in people are so impressed?
Oh my God, you're 17 and you look skinny? Wow. Oh my God, you're an ectomorph? Okay.
By how he looks, they're thinking, is he really? It's okay, and so he plays
It's a photograph.
Basketball, and it's okay to pressure are making it harder and harder for men to have the ideal look for the opposite sex. It's getting harder than last time, and I'm not talking
Why are these people so jealous of nothing?
about the downstairs, but even 4% body fat and
Man, Greg is so desperate at this point. I guess he's running out of fake natties. He's got to pick on little kids that weigh 160 pounds. Give me a fucking break.
still having a deal.
Yes.
Cookbook gross, honestly.
If you look good, you must be fake. Okay. Well, I'm not saying if you look good, you must be fake. I'm saying if it's sarcoplasmic, it's definitely artificial. It's fake.
Fair play to the guy for those gains.
But you think they know that? They don't know that. To them, something got bigger. It must be real if it got bigger. The balloon effect.
But he looks like absolute are using performance enhancement. I used to be okay with people taking steroids, but it's getting stupid now. Philion was right. Taking steroids makes you an instant puss boy. And so you can see the influence of Sam Sulek. And clearly, it's not just Sam, but Chris Bumstead and others. Kids, teenagers, they have in your life to put on muscle. And so why not maximize your natural genetics? Why not do what you can do?
He did maximize it. There's nothing there, bro. There's nothing. He's tiny. He's small. What are you fucking going on about?
Accomplish what you can while being 100% natural first. This is what happens when young kids follow and admire.
Nobody that I know in the gym, after hitting the newbie gains, any other gains after that is fake. Nobody is natural after hitting the newbie gains because their muscle has reached a myonuclear domain size limit. And it is extremely, almost impossible to bypass myonuclear domain size limit. You understand me?
Sam Sulek. I don't even know why people want that kind of mass. It's so cookbook gross, honestly. Fair play to the guy for those gains, but he looks like absolute shit. Honestly, getting tired of the Sam Sulek hype. I used to be okay with people.
And why is that? Because muscles are post-mitotic. They don't split. You understand me? That's why you get people like Jason Blaha telling you there's no such thing as hyperplasia in humans. There's no hyperplasia in humans. So muscles are post-mitotic. You understand me? They don't split and divide and increase in number. They don't. Not from exercising, that's for sure. Not from just exercising. It happens when you're untrained. Why is that? They call that an ultrastructural muscle injury. So it can calibrate. It calibrates your muscles so they get stronger. And then they become resilient from getting this damage again, that type. That's it. It's over. Yeah.
Taking steroids, but it's getting stupid now. Philion was right. Taking steroids makes you an instant puss boy. And so you can see the influence of Sam
Oh, brother.
Sulek. And clearly, it's not this. Do I look like I have crazy abdominals? Do I...
You look like you're on steroids for life, man. Because you got to maintain this fake look because it pays the bills.
You can see the six-pack, but you...
Yeah.
Ow, I can move my pectoral. Remember, it was exciting.
Yeah.
I can flex my chest now. I can see a ripple. It was fun and
You know, for all the steroids that he takes, it's never going to make his face nice looking. Ali got sick and tired of looking at his ugly face, and she said, you know what? I got to go because the steroids are not working.
exciting and new. But remember, I didn't want do
He told her that it will work over time, but she kept waiting for it to work, and it never did, never changed his face. If anything, it got older and uglier.
do your best to stay 100% natural. Button, comment to boost the algorithm.
Yes, do your best to stay 100% natural. Here, do your best to stay 100% natural. Right there. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Stay 100% natural. Yes, friends. So you can get more of these, So you can get more of these artificial muscles, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, kind of artificial muscle growth. Yes, you can get more of that. I'll see you in the next one. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Yeah, would you blame the fitness industry? Blame Sam Sulek? Not. See you later, man.